It's the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report on Cool Gold 1460 with Dan the Boy Steiker and Billy Doc Niles, brought to you by Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores in Baraboo, Black River Falls, and Toma. By Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, and 3rd Street, downtown La Crosse. By Dean Satellite and Security, your local DirecTV retailer. By the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. By Dell's Raceway Park in Wisconsin Dells. By Weir's Machine and Racing Products in Bangor, Wisconsin. And by TJ's Longshots Grill and Saloon in historic downtown West Salem. Now here's Doc and Dan with today's report.
Hi again, race fans. I am the voice, Radio Man Dan Dyke, along with Billy Doc Niles. You are tuning in to the area's largest, almost the state's largest radio show on a Saturday, the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores Race Report here on 1460 WBOG and that little thing you call a radio. Also live on the internet. Hey, pick up your smartphone because there's a thing on here called the TuneIn app.
Love that TuneIn app.
Billy Doc Niles have got a big show coming your way today. We got a little bit of everything as we get you ready for Faster Pastor Night at the La Crosse Speedway tonight. On the program today, a gentleman that I've been friends with for about 15, 16 years now, a former longtime announcer at Wisconsin International Raceway, Joe Vertigan. He's written a book called Wisconsin International Raceway, where the big ones run. And yes, I've been there and I've saw some big ones run.
I've been there back in the old Dixieland when the Dixieland 250 first started. And the first time I walked into that track, I was just blown away by its looks, and I can't wait to talk to him about that.
I'll be back at the Dixieland this year to interview Kyle Busch for this radio program. Also coming up, Gretchen Gausman's going to join us. She's with the Wisconsin Car Enthusiast Club, statewide automotive club that's going to invade the La Crosse Speedway again this year in July, 47,000 members strong.
And this isn't just your average, stare at the pretty cars type show. They got a lot of things going on, and she's going to explain what's going to be happening, especially at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway come July.
Also joining us for our Team Dean segment today, Mike Carlson, the number 50 NASCAR late model driver of the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. Also on the program, racing Rob Christian and Hornet drivers Mark Bornitz and Nate Towner. Got to let you know, JT's Long Shots know what's going on tonight.
What's going on tonight?
Oh, meet the Fireball Girls.
Get out!
Yeah. I hope racing's done quick. They're going to be there from 9:30 to 10:30 tonight. Dollar shots, free swag.
Oh, my.
We like free swag.
If the races do get over, you take your pit pass in there and drop it in the box, or your tickets up, drop it in the box, and get a shot at Oktoberfest race passes.
Music by DJ Grizz from 9:30 to 1:30. That's all coming up tonight at JT's Long Shots. I will be over there. No qualms about it. I will be at JT's after the program. Also, we got to let people know that you need to bring your classic car to Big Boar Barbecue in West Salem on the first and third Wednesday of each month for the Big Boar Car Show. That's coming up June 21st, July 5th, Trophy Night, July 19th. Billy Doc Niles and I will be taking the Seven Rivers Racing TV show live to Big Boar Barbecue for the Trophy Night.
Have we ever done a live TV show before? I don't think so, but we've tried live radio last year. It worked out really cool.
Matter of fact, this program the past couple of years at the Speedways turned out outstanding. We don't have to do it over cell phones again.
That's awesome, yeah.
Or wait for Dick Trickle to show up because he's late because he took his golf cart on the backside of the action track quarter mile and almost rolled it in the grass. Hey, before we get the show started today, I did want to mention, because we're going to run down what happened at some area tracks here. Last weekend, good friend of mine, I met him about 8 years ago when I was announcing at Mississippi Thunder Speedway. Tom Banke was racing his 600 modified. His motor died during the race. Nothing had happened there. He pulled off into the infield, was taking off some of his safety equipment, and if you've seen the video, it is incredible. The entire 600 mod caught on fire. He was stuck halfway in the car because he couldn't get the steering wheel off. Billy, you've seen some of this video, and it was terrific.
And I know Tom personally. We bowl together in the summer at Cooley Golf Ball here in Onalaska, and that's a horrifying video and a horrifying feeling for any driver. That's the worst feeling. We talked about the drivers being up on their roof the last couple of weeks. This is by far the worst feeling. Is being on fire and not being able to get out of the car. Kudos to the MTS safety crew for going in there and pulling him out. He's in the He's in a burn unit in the Twin Cities right now. His hands, his face, and his abdomen. Some of the fire got up underneath his suit and got onto him. But he's doing well. They got a GoFundMe page going. Next weekend, they're having a fundraiser in Winona for him.
I was just going to say that for those that don't know Tom, he's a truck driver, has a wife and 2 beautiful little boys. There is a Tom Beggy fundraiser. I will be there for this one. Billy and I think we should both go. June 25th at the Black Horse Saloon in Winona. The GoFundMe page has already met its goal not even a week after the accident. It's simply outstanding from the racing community.
I've seen it meet. They hit the goal once. They bumped it up a little bit. They hit the goal twice. And let's face it, it's he's the big breadwinner of the house. I would assume with driving truck. He's going to be out for a while, folks. So if you can go find that GoFundMe page. I've got it on my Facebook page. We got it on our radio Facebook page.
Yep.
Go check it out. Every little bit helps. $5, $10, whatever you can contribute. Help this family out, get through this tough time.
Again, that's Tom Banky, a great 600 modified driver from Mississippi Thunder Speedway.
One thing I wanted to mention, and we didn't get to mention it last week, speaking of things that have happened to the racing family, a good friend of our family, former Hornet driver and late model crew chief from La Crosse on the Dells, Dave True, unexpectedly passed away last week. He was the
taxi cab.
Yeah, Dave Taxi True passed away unexpectedly. He was my brother's crew chief, and they would go down to the Dells with bolt cars and race every Saturday. They would both race here, and sad to see. He was a very good friend of ours, and we're gonna miss him sadly. And Dave, rest in peace, my friend.
Yeah, Dave, I missed calling his races. He was the only driver that I've ever seen where his entire car looked like a taxi cab. It was just phenomenal to see. I've known his son, Dave True Jr., probably as long as I've been in this area, probably 10, 12 years now, ever since he was a kid, and started racing. He raced a couple of times Oktoberfest with his dad. He used to run the Bandits at the Dells with his dad, and now when he has free time, he runs at the Thomas Porter Raceway. So condolences go out from everybody here at the radio show. Dave is a good guy. I had a lot of beers with him at Oktoberfest, and Dave True Jr., if you see him, that was his dad, so give him a pat in the back and tell him he is obviously in racer's heaven right now. Again, coming up in the program, we got a lot of stuff coming up here today. We're going to be talking about books. We're going to be talking about car clubs. You got to announce at the Speedway last week because I had a DJ wedding. How was it?
I thought it was pretty good, but then I heard it on TV and I thought, wow, I kind of suck. But it was a good time. I understand how hard it is for you to do what you do every Saturday night. You make it seem so easy and flawless, and I thought this can't be that hard. And boy, was I wrong. Other than that, I had a great time. Got to see all sorts of things. Got to see the points leader in the Outlaws class meet a demise in a heat race. Got to see a Queen Bee flip over on her roof. That was an incredible finish to the late model feature with Steve Carlson and Nick Paninsky. An unbelievable accident in the sportsman feature takes out the top 2 drivers. Brad Warthen, congratulations, Merry Christmas. You had everything you could want in a race night and in 5 divisions, and such a fun night. You missed a good one, buddy.
I got a great paycheck for DJing and chicken marsala.
Well, I got your brats, and there was still food left over for people to eat. I did get that dig in, by the way.
Well, yeah, only my second time of ever missing a race at the La Crosse Speedway. It felt awfully strange because I kept looking at my watch, and I'm like, okay, it's 8:30. I know what Bill's doing right now. He should be doing this. And it was time of the whole night. I could have, oh, goodness gracious. It was just really weird not being at my racing home. But
what was nice about Saturday night is while I'm doing your job, our boy Paul Reichert was out doing my job.
Yeah, and he really did it today. He's got some great interviews coming up. Mike Carlson, Rob Christian, Mark Bornitz, Nate Tower, Joe Verdig, a racing author who, long time, I think he spent about 30 years at WIR, a lot of racing periodicals that he writes as well. And Gretchen Gaussman is going to be joining us with a very fantastic car club. All that and more coming up next. We're just getting it kick-started here on 1460 WBOG.
Are you looking for comfort under the sun? You can find that and a whole lot more with your stay at the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. The Days Inn has 148 spacious rooms, an indoor pool, hot tub, fitness room, and plenty of banquet space to host that big meeting or wedding reception. If you're hungry, food and drink are just steps away at the Heroes Bar and Grill inside the hotel. So if you're planning a pool party, wedding reception, or just want a night away in a jacuzzi suite, Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island is your stop under the sun.
For the best family entertainment value in the Dells area, look no further than Dells Raceway Park. Kids 9 and under are always free. Exciting stock car racing every Saturday night where the stars of tomorrow are racing today in late models, modified, sportsman, bandits, and more. Check the schedule online at DellsRacewayPark.com. Take a free tour of the pits and a lap around the track on race night in DRP's trolley car. Gates open at 4, qualifying at 5:30, green flag racing at 7. Don't miss the excitement every Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, where the best in the Midwest race.
In a hurry, it's easy to stop. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. You're gonna like the things we've got. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. It's easy to see when you're on the go. There's only one name you need to know.
Baraboo, Black River Falls, Nakusa, Toma, Wittenberg.
Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop.
Here we go, back to the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report with Doc and Dan.
Welcome back, race fans. This is the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores Race Report on 1460 WBOG. Along with Billy Doc Niles, I am the voice, radio man Dan Diker. A guy I met a long time ago. Goodness, it's got to be 16, 17 years ago. When I was
all of that.
Yeah. When I was part-time announcing at the 141 Speedway in Francis Creek, and then became the full-time announcer at the Big Dirt Half Mile at the Manitowoc Expo, has a couple of books out, and his latest one has really struck a chord with me because as I was moving from Manitowoc to La Crosse, I had just gone to Wisconsin International Raceway for a couple of NASCAR guys that were going one-on-one there. And there's a book out now called the Wisconsin International Raceway, where the big ones run. It came out back in December, and it's found out all over the place. Its author is Green Bay native Joe Vertingen. Joe, how are you, my friend?
Real good, guys. Thanks for having me on today.
Joe, former track announcer. He's been an event promoter for a while. His first book came out in 2015, Life in the Pass Lane, a history of stock car racing in Northeast Wisconsin from 1950 to 1980. And this time, Joe, you're pretty much featuring the big one, WIR.
Yeah, I tell you, it was a track. I was able to. I worked there as a track announcer from, I want to say, 95 to about 2000. In fact, my first year announcing there weekly was Matt Kenseth's last as a champion in 95. And Matt, I bet you he won 9 or 10 features that year. I mean, he was one guy you could just see was going to kind of take it to the next level. He just had that skill set, you know. And that was a track that as a kid in the 70s, my parents had brought me there for the red, white, and blue races on Sunday afternoons when they were like a really big deal. You had, it's the first time I ever saw a Dick Trickle race. And guys you read about in Checkered Flag and Midwest Racing, it was Tom Reffner, Marv Marzofka, Larry Deachens, Jim Sauter, and, later on, Mark Martin and Rusty Wallace. And to see those guys on a Sunday afternoon after just reading about them in the papers, it was really something special. And, I had all these old programs and some contacts from my days announcing there, so I decided to take the plunge and kind of preserve all this history. And it generally takes me about a year to write a book, and so far it's gone pretty well.
Now, you're talking about the history. How many people did you have to talk? How many people did you find that were there from the beginning that you could use for information to write the book?
I think for the WIR book, rough estimate, I may have interviewed probably 100 to 125 different subjects, and to get their phone numbers from somebody. Remember now, a lot of these older guys, some of them don't even have a cell phone.
Right.
So you're talking about landlines, and the best scenarios are when you go right to their homes and interview them. They'll drag out trophies from the 1960s, an old open-face helmet, the old school white driver's suits with the red stripes down the sleeves or in the arms, And the photos and programs, I mean, the treasures are just absolutely unbelievable that you find out when you go to these guys' homes and stuff. And the best one, obviously, is track owner Roger Van Dalwick. You know, his dad, Joe, built the track in the mid-'60s, and Roger obviously provided me with photos and blueprints from when the track was built. I mean, stuff that was just like a literal treasure chest. And I got Roger's full blessing, and he was very excited that someone was going to actually document the history of that storied racetrack. So yeah, it's been a pretty fun ride.
Joe Vertigan has written a book called Wisconsin International Raceway, Where the Big Ones Run. It was released in December of 2016. Easiest thing to do, folks, is just Google search it because it's going to come up on Amazon right off the bat. I saw that earlier today. What is it about WIR in your thoughts and your past recollections that brought the big names out?
Well, a lot of it has to do with the Red, White, and Blue Series, which they actually started in 1972 with the late Gary Vercotter, and was kind of a mentor of mine in terms of the PR and writing standpoint. You know, the Sunday afternoon shows, because all these different tracks, you had Lacrosse ran Wednesday nights back then, Wausau State Park Speedway ran Thursdays, the Dells was Friday, and Saturday or whatever night was Madison. On that Sunday afternoon now, that drew all of those studs, from these tracks. Mike Miller from Wisconsin Rapids, another name, that comes to mind. And, that brought those guys to the forefront. But then the weekly program, which was started by the Fox River Racing Club in 1975, that consistently built over the years, and it peaked, around the early 80s. Around 1980s, a year when up until then, a lot of guys were running both dirt. There's a lot of dirt tracks up this way too, and they would run Kaukauna Thursday nights, and they'd run Shawano Saturdays, De Pere or Seymour Sundays with the same car. Well, around 1981, I think Lowell Bennett and a guy named Cliff Evan, who still road races to this day, they were probably the last two guys that raced with the same car on both surfaces. But after that, the 9-to-1 motor rule, if you guys remember that, in the early 80s, Central Wisconsin Racing kind of got that rolling. Trickle and Reffner, those guys hammered that out one winter.
Trickle, Reffner, and Marzovka sitting in a garage one night.
Exactly. And then, that spilled over to Fox River Racing Club. And that 9-to-1 motor rule, in my opinion, really made the asphalt super late model, late models they called back then, an affordable option. Because at the time, the dirt late models were getting out of hand in terms of cost, and the car counts just exploded at WIR in the 80s, as they did in Central Wisconsin as well.
One thing, the first time I ever went to Kaukauna, what amazed me was it's not shaped like your typical short track. It's got that little dog leg in the front, almost a mini Daytona.
It's like a D.
Yeah, and what was the story behind building the track that way?
That's actually, they kind of covered that in Chapter 1. There were like some not sewage problems, but something with some water and like some where the water was running underneath. And they wanted to make that initially though shaped exactly like Daytona, because the whole thought was
that was my first
we want this. Yeah, because up until that time it was still the jalopies and the coupes, and that was kind of dying off in the mid to late '60s. So. A guy by the name of Ron Leake, who I have a chapter on, he was the main PR guy with Joe Van Dalwick and really got it going. That first race they had there, paved in 1968, while it was not USAC sanctioned, it drew a lot of those USAC and IMC heavy hitters back then. There was a legitimate 14,000 people there, and it took off. And again, the whole idea was to bring in these new style cars that kind of looked like what ran at Daytona, and that's, the jalopies eventually got phased out, or they started running in the quarter mile then. But then the big stuff was coming in the half mile. And it was a lot of USAC-type cars that they were running in the late 60s, early 70s, before you had the pony cars coming in, the Mustangs and the Camaros and that kind of thing in the early to mid-70s.
His name is Joe Vertigan. We are running out of time of the segment because I could talk about this for about a half an hour.
We could do a whole show on this book.
Joe sent me a copy of the book. Some of the stuff in there is just simply outstanding, and I wish somebody on this side of the state would do that as well. It's called Wisconsin International Raceway, Where the Big Ones Run. You can find it all over the place, wherever you can find books sold. You also want to find the one he wrote in 2015, Life in the Past Lane, A History of Stock Car Racing in Northeast Wisconsin from 1950 to 1980. Joe, we're going to have to definitely get you back onto the program this year, and it's about time you made a stop at Oktoberfest.
You want to know what's really weird? I've coached high school football in middle school football for a lot of years. I've announced at lacrosse. I did the ASA Midwest Tour in 07, but I've never attended an Oktoberfest. And I've got to, that's one I want to check off my bucket list. I've retired from weekly announcing after doing it for 30 years, but I still do PR at Kaukauna, but Oktoberfest is on my list to catch. They say it's one heck of a good time.
Well, I tell you, this will be my 11th year announcing Oktoberfest, and anytime you want to come up, you've got the VIP for all 4 days. Bring a stomach and a bunch of Tums, though. Alrighty, Joe Vertigan from Green Bay. He wrote Wisconsin International Raceway, where the big ones run. It's an outstanding book. It doesn't matter what part of the state or what state you're in listening to the program. If you're a race fan of any kind of caliber, you've got to check this book out. It's simply outstanding. Joe, thanks for joining us on the program, my friend.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you again soon, and hopefully we'll see you at Fest one of these years.
Alrighty, Joe Vertigan, Wisconsin International Raceway, where the big ones run. Best place to find it would be on Amazon. More of the show coming up next. We're just getting started on this Saturday afternoon on 1460 WBOG.
Come on in. Welcome to JT's Long Shots in West Salem. We're Trisha and Jim.
It's your new sports bar for watching all your favorite sports. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1.75 domestics and rails. For lunch or dinner, the kitchen is open. Half-price burgers on Mondays. Tuesday, it's bone or boneless wings. Fish tacos on Friday. Stop after the races tonight to hear live music. It's Joe Cody from 8 to midnight.
Jim and I'd love to see you at JT's Long Shots Sports Bar, downtown West Salem.
Spring, spring, spring. Now that it's spring, no one wants to sit inside and watch TV with it so beautiful outside. And when you get DirecTV through Dean's Satellite and Security, you don't have to. You can now take your TV with you into the great outdoors with the free mobile app from DirecTV. Going on a picnic? Take your TV with you. Sitting by the lake? Don't miss your favorite show. It's really that simple. Call your local friends at Dean's Satellite and Security today at 608-269-2897 or visit them online at deanstv.com. Now get outside and watch your TV. Content, channels, and functionality varies by TV package, viewing location, and device. Data charges may apply. Conditions apply. Call for details.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Jerry Beyer here, and I'm pleased to announce that we have opened a new location. Now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and Gillette Street every Wednesday through Sunday. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout.
And just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Big Boar Barbecue, that's a mouthful.
Weir's Machine and Racing Products, Bangor, Wisconsin. A proud supporter of the local racing, celebrating 20 years in the racing industry. From dirt tracks to asphalt, Weir's Machine manufactures over 400 quality parts that racers rely on to win races, producing some of the finest parts in the industry. From engine parts, tools, suspension parts, to race accessories. Head to Weir'sMachine.com to browse their entire line or call them direct. Weir's Machine and Racing Products, Bangor, Wisconsin.
It's Team Dean time as the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report continues on Cool Gold 1460.
Welcome back, race fans. Again, it's Saturday. This is the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores Race Report on 1460 WBOG. JT's Long Shots tonight. The Fireball Girls will be there from 9:30 to 10:30. $1 shots, free swag. Music by DJ Grizz from 9:30 to 1:30. I will be there eating wings later on tonight.
Shock me. It is Team Dean's time, and we had our boy Paul Reichert talking to lacrosse late model driver Mike Carlson.
Mike, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
So far, a couple weeks in the 2017 season here, and how's it been going for you so far?
I've been going pretty good, just kind of pacing myself, just kind of letting stuff settle out and kind of shooting for the long run.
And so far we've had some pretty big fields here to start the season. 30 late models on the first night, 26 here recently, and it's good to see big fields back here at La Crosse after quite a while here.
Yeah, it's been like 8 or 10 years or so, since we've had quite a few cars. So it's good seeing all these cars come back out, and it's good competition coming out. You guys coming from Minnesota, and they're really good guys. It's fun to race against new competition to understand, kind of build up your talent.
It's been hard to believe it's been 11 years since you were running as a rookie here, that great battle with Skyler for the Rookie of the Year title here at La Crosse. Where do you think you've progressed the most between then and now here at La Crosse?
Well, yeah, I can't believe how long ago it was, being a rookie, and then till now. I think probably the most thing I've learned is just patience. A lot of it, I mean, you got to go because it's only 25 laps, but you got to look for the long run rather than that night type deal.
Probably early on, you might have been asked Dad once in a while for advice.
Oh yeah, I always ask Dad for help. Whenever I got questions here or there, and we bounce information back and forth from each other. I could probably handle it on my own, but it's always good having help, whether it's Dad or fellow competitors or even my crew members. It's trying to lead them in the right direction and get them more towards racing.
I think it was a couple of years ago you formed this team called CK Racing. Actually, it started with Drew Krybeck. Actually, started this with you.
Yep, me and Drew, we go way back from school. We've known each other forever. We kind of started out doing go-karts and whatnot, and he progressed and he's done his own thing in go-karts, and he's done a lot of my promotional stuff for me and helping me out with getting sponsors and kind of being my marketing director. But yeah, we kind of look forward towards progressing younger generation to help kind of promote them and getting new people into the sport.
Of course, you've got the teammate now, I guess, with Cam Dzelski, who made the big jump from the Hornets to the late models here 2 or 3 years ago. How much have you been advising him and giving him advice on how to run the late models here with limited experience or no experience he's had?
Well, actually, he's got not a lot of track experience, but he's been around racing for quite a few years of his life. Been hanging around with his uncle. He used to race, so I've known him from way back in AutoZone Remax days, helping me out in the race car and learning. And I told him, I said, we can make the jump and get you into one of these. And he decided he wanted to pull the pin and do it. So everything we do with my car, we'll bounce off of him and we'll put back into his car and learn. That way he get to learn something new. I got the Third brothers, but yeah, they're racing Hornets now, and we've been building them. As far as teammates, I consider a lot of guys teammates. Like with Brad Powell, Adam Dagenhart, Korish when he's out here. We're all, just because we're not on the same team, we're all teammates because we all go drink beer together and hang out, and we all bounce ideas off, and it's fun. We come out here, it's all about friendship and trying to keep the sport alive.
Absolutely. Yeah, and of course, some great sponsoring your car here for the 2017 season. Gotta thank them.
Oh yeah. Thanks again to Team Dean's, Dean Satellite, Circle Track Magazine for giving the advertisement and kind of promotional type stuff. Weir's Machine, Lizzie's Tap, and there's Gordon Epping CPA. You got Tundra, they come on board. Booze, KO Designs, Carlson Designs. You can't thank people enough.
Okay, well, good luck this season, Mike. Well, hopefully we'll be talking about the championship here at the end of the season, maybe.
If not this season, definitely probably within the next couple of years. It's with as many cars come back out. We got a lot of competition out here, and I'd love to have a championship, but I just don't want to have it given to me. I like to earn it.
Oh yeah. Well, good luck to you this season, Mike.
Thank you.
All righty, Team Dean segment. I want to thank Mike Carlson, Team Dean's driver, for joining us on the program. Paul Reichert also had a chance to catch up with a guy that had some health problems, and believe it or not, Billy Docknell's last Saturday night, his first time on the racetrack this year.
Yeah, he got a chance to talk with Rob Christian and find out what was going on with him.
Nice to talk to you there.
Thank you. So what was the experience like for you running in the NASCAR late models last year?
It was a very awesome experience. These are very technical cars. They're fun cars to drive when they're handling right, and they're a handful when they're not. But we had a great time last year and got off to a little rough start this year, but we're coming out here. The car felt good earlier in testing, so hopefully it's going to go up from here.
And what issues did you have to deal with here to delay your start of the season here?
Well, we stripped this car down just to the bare chassis, and everything that's bolted onto this car, besides the roof and the tail section, is brand new. Under the cars went the same way, so we spent a lot of money and we got the car right. And without KBR helping me down in Linden Station, this would have never happened. So this is hopefully it's going to be a good time now.
Oh yes. And what other divisions have you raced out here before starting up the late models last year?
I started out roughly 25 years ago on a Thunderstock. Actually, they were called beer stocks back then. I've raced Sportsmans for a few years, and then I took about 8 years off or so, and had the opportunity to buy a late model, and had to fulfill my dream.
Yeah, and I think I remember, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago, you came out here one night. I think it was after after Ed Reinert had passed away?
Yep.
That you came out here, ran a late model?
Yeah, it was this car. It was this solid white back then. I haven't even raced it until that night, and it really wasn't a race. We were just coming out here for Eddie. He was a really good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm. And of course, you've raced with and been good friends, of course, with Joe Reinert, who, of course, we lost actually last year.
Yeah, Joe is a good friend of mine. We raced a lot together, and that was pretty tough, but he's riding with me now.
Mm-hmm. And you think you'll see your son, of course, races in Thunderstocks. That's, of course, Chris Christian. And you think he might eventually move up the ladder, sportsman, late models maybe at some point?
I hope so, because I'm getting pretty old, and that's the whole plan. You know, Christopher loves racing, and I hope to get him on the big track here shortly.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for the time, Rob. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.
Already, nice job, Paul Riker. Kind of interesting. Paul filling in for Doc. Doc was filling in for me, and I was playing DJ last Saturday. Want to thank Mike and Rob for coming on the program. Hope Rob has a successful season and can make it out for the entire year, because I like racing Rob's number 64. When we come back, we're going to talk a car show or a car club, Billy Doc Niles, that has how many members?
47,000.
And that's just in the state.
Just in the state of Wisconsin.
Gretchen Gaussman is coming up next on 1460 WVOG.
Come on in. Welcome to JT's Long Shots in West Salem. We're Trisha and Jim.
It's your new sports bar for watching all your favorite sports. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1.75 domestics and rails. For lunch or dinner, the kitchen is open. Half-price burgers on Mondays. Tuesday, it's bone or boneless wings. Fish tacos on Friday. Stop after the races tonight to hear live music. It's Joe Cody from 8 to midnight.
Jim and I'd love to see you at JT's Long Shots Sports Bar, downtown West Salem.
For the best family entertainment value in the Dells area, look no further than Dells Raceway Park. Kids 9 and under are always free. Exciting stock car racing every Saturday night, where the stars of tomorrow are racing today in late models, modified, sportsman, bandits, and more. Check the schedule online at DellsRacewayPark.com. Take a free tour of the pits and a lap around the track on race night in DRP's trolley car. Gates open at 4, qualifying at 5:30, green flag racing at 7. Don't miss the excitement every Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, where the best in the Midwest race.
In a hurry, it's easy to stop. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. You're gonna like the things we've got. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. It's easy to see when you're on the go. There's only one name you need to know.
Baraboo, Black River Falls, Nakusa, Toma, Wittenberg.
Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Jerry Beyer here, and I'm pleased to announce that we have opened a new location. Now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and July Street every Wednesday through Sunday. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout.
And just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Big Boar Barbecue, that's a mouthful.
Here we go, back to the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report with Doc and Dan.
Welcome back, race fans. This is Cool Gold 1460 WPOG, along with Billy Doc Niles. I am the voice, Radio Man Dan Dyker. The Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store's Race Report. Our guest on the program, I'm not sure if you did radio with us last year or not, did you?
No.
I didn't think so. Well, she is this year with the Wisconsin Car Enthusiast Club. They get a big show coming up at the La Crosse Speedway on July 23rd from 12 to 5, and Gretchen Gaussman is going to join us to tell us more about that. Gretchen, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Fantastic. Good to see you again. I've known Gretchen, goodness gracious, about 3-4 years now. Yep. And every time I see you, you always have a smile, and you're always around cool cars.
Yes.
What a
always.
life.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I love it.
Tell us about your organization.
WCC is a group that was founded in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, just starting out with a few members just to basically network and get to know people. And over the past 4 years, we grew from a couple hundred to 47,000 strong now on our Facebook group.
That is incredible. What?
Wow.
47,000 members. What exactly do you guys do? You talk about network. What type of networking? What goes on?
Well, the group was started to, if somebody had like a mechanical problem, they could ask and basically get, an immediate response from somebody who might know the answer, might have a fix for it. Or, if somebody's looking to buy a new car, is this a good buy? What should I do? Is this a good modification for my car? Would it be better if I added this or this to, have more horsepower? That kind of thing, and it's exploded from there in the last 4 years.
One of the cool things when we had her on TV last year, when we were talking about the La Crosse Speedway, is this isn't just a car club of brand new cars straight from Compton that are all loaded up with hydraulics, young kids with computers in there. There's some oldies but goodies in here as well. And I'd asked her last year, I'm like, do you separate by year? And she said, no, we like to intertwine these because you want the older guys to get to talk to the younger guys and vice versa. There was no separation.
Correct. That is right. We want to be able to include the older generation with the younger generation because we feel like there's such an age gap between the two where the older guys are like, dang, kids and their racers, and, the younger generation
sounds like
thinks
me.
they're...
Yeah.
But, the younger generation doesn't really know what it took to modify a car back then. There was no computers involved. They know
nothing about Detroit iron.
69 Camaros.
72.
But we like to intertwine the two because we want to hopefully bridge that gap between those, the younger generation and the older generation. And there's older people who have really nice newer cars, and there's younger people who have older cars because that's what they like. And it's really cool to see all of the different people that we get in the group. It's not just one or the other. It's a whole spectrum of people and what they like and what they don't like. And it's just great.
You'd mentioned something on the TV show which kind of amazed me. This isn't just something where you park the cars and everybody looks at them. You have a full-blown event here. You have all kinds of activities going on.
Yep.
Talk about something like what's going to be happening at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway in July.
What we do at the Speedway is a little bit different than we do at normal shows. At normal shows, we'll park cars. We have judges judge cars. We give out awards. There's other things involved. But at the Speedway, what we get to do is we have a burnout competition set up. We have an exhaust competition set up. We have a lowered car limbo, which is for cars that have been modified to be low to the ground.
Car limbo.
I could see a lot of El Caminos in that thing.
That would be awesome to watch.
Mazda Miatas,
yes,
definitely. Yep. And then we also have we have a two-wheel drive dyno that usually comes to now. So that's usually good for anybody that wants to get their car dynoed. That's kind of a separate thing from our event. They charge a fee to have you run 2 or 3 times on there. So it's a whole separate business that comes out and does it. So.
Entertainment-wise, food. And I know the concessions were open last year because I remember talking about it. What you have bands, DJs, music. What do you do?
We have a DJ that usually comes out. I think it'll be a local lacrosse guy too DJing, and then we have the concessions open as well at the Speedway.
Talk about what it takes to get a car entered in something like that. Do they have to be in your club or not? And what about people that just want to come and watch in the grandstands?
We have it open to pretty much anybody that wants to show up. If you show up the day of and you have no idea what WCEC is and you've got a 1969 Dodge Charger that you want to put in the show, you're more than welcome to.
And if you've got a 2013 rice burner, something that you see at the street drags in one of our tuner classes, bring it out.
Yep, exactly. Yep, we want to see it So,
which you do, because you do have a lot of, and I recognize some of the faces, the guys driving the old Eagle Talons and the Mitsubishi Lancers, and the one we were just talking about,
370Z.
370Z that actually had your scripture on the side of it this past weekend.
Yep.
I know a lot of these guys in your car club because of street drags.
Yep, that's right. They all come out for street drags and hang out and race their cars just for street drags, and then they come out to this show because they actually get to show off their cars and talk about it instead of just being at street drags and whatnot.
No, you don't hold events just at Eau Claire and La Crosse. You're all over the state now.
Oh, yeah,
you?
we are all over the state. The season opener was in April, and we did that in West Bend, Wisconsin. And then we had our Wisconsin Modified show during the Automotion weekend in the Wisconsin Dells. And then this will be our next show that we're doing.
Now, the one of the Dells, you guys got to test out who had the best wax on their cars to see how the rain had bubbled up, because that wasn't the best weather-wise show you guys had, even though you had a good attendance.
Oh, no, it was excellent attendance, but it was cold, we were wet, it was 45, 50 degrees, and just pouring rain the entire time.
Now, last year, during the go-karts, I was watching these cars pull in through the pit road. They go in through turn 4 at the La Crosse Speedway, and I was amazed at how they lined up all the way down the raceway, all the way down the highway, and every type of vehicle you can imagine was pulling in there, and I was just thoroughly amazed. And I would expect you guys to have that kind of a show this year as well.
Yes, we expect that as well. We just want to have, we like having the La Crosse Speedway show because we enjoy it as well. The burnout competition, the exhaust competition, it's just all fun. And when you do enter your car in the show, you are allowed to enter those events as well. And it's not an extra fee other than the entrance fee into the show.
If our listeners want to find out more about the Wisconsin Car Enthusiast Club, how do they find this?
They can find that information either on our Facebook, Wisconsin Car Enthusiast Club, on that Facebook page, or they can find it on our website at theofficialwcec.com.
See, on TV, I was going like this. I was making the line like the scroller, but I can't do that now.
Oh, yeah, and we did it backwards on TV, too.
So just imagine we're putting our fingers down, showing you, call this phone number now.
We're going from the right side of your dial or smartphone, and we're going to the left side with our fingers right now.
And on your computer, well, if it's a touchscreen, we're all over the place. Want to thank Gretchen for coming in again. Again, you can watch the replay of the TV show when Jesse puts it up on our Seven Rivers Racing YouTube page. Otherwise, get more information. You can contact any of us on Facebook. I talk to Gretchen all the time, see it's Street Drags, and I can get you the same information. Again, that's going to be July 23rd, 12 to 5 at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway. If you've got a Butte out there, don't put it in the garage. Bring it to the Speedway. When we come back, we are going to hear from Paul Reichert at the Burner Rubber Race Report next on 1460 WBOG.
Are you looking for comfort under the sun? You can find that and a whole lot more with your stay at the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. The Days Inn has 148 spacious rooms, an indoor pool, hot tub, fitness room, and plenty of banquet space to host that big meeting or wedding reception. If you're hungry, food and drink are just steps away at the Heroes Bar and Grill inside the hotel. So if you're planning a pool party, wedding reception, or just want a night away in a jacuzzi suite, Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island is your stop under the sun.
Spring, spring, spring. Now that it's spring, no one wants to sit inside and watch TV with it so beautiful outside. And when you get DirecTV through Dean Satellite and Security, you don't have to. You can now take your TV with you into the great outdoors with the free mobile app from DirecTV. Going on a picnic? Take your TV with you. Sitting by the lake? Don't miss your favorite show. It's really that simple. Call your local friends at Dean Satellite and Security today at 608-269-2897 or visit them online at deanstv.com. Now get outside and watch your TV. Content, channels, and functionality varies by TV package, viewing location, and device. Data charges may apply. Conditions apply. Call for details.
For the best family entertainment value in the Dells area, look no further than Dells Raceway Park. Kids 9 and under are always free. Exciting stock car racing every Saturday night where the stars of tomorrow are racing today in late models, modified, sportsman, bandits, and more. Check the schedule online at DellsRacewayPark.com. Take a free tour of the pits and a lap around the track on race night in DRP's trolley car. Gates open at 4, qualifying at 5:30, green flag racing at 7. Don't miss the excitement every Saturday night at Dells Raceway Park, where the best in the Midwest race.
Get ready. It's the Days Inn Burnin' Rubber Race Report with Paul Reichert. Brought to you by the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. Now here's Paul with this week's report.
Hello there, race fans. Paul Reichert with you for another edition of the Burnin' Rubber Race Report. Coming up after the break, a lot of results to talk about from this past week, including the USAC National Midget Series doing their annual Indiana Midget Week this past week, the big Dirt Late Model Dream Race taking place at Eldora last weekend, and a crazy weekend at Marshfield for the ARCA Midwest Tour drivers. We'll talk all about that and much more in the Burnin' Rubber Race Report coming up next.
Are you looking for comfort under the sun? You can find that and a whole lot more with your stay at the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. The Days Inn has 148 spacious rooms, an indoor pool, hot tub, fitness room, and plenty of banquet space to host that big meeting or wedding reception. If you're hungry, food and drink are just steps away at the Heroes Bar and Grill inside the hotel. So if you're planning a pool party, wedding reception, or just want a night away in a jacuzzi suite, Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island is your stop under the sun.
Hello again, race fans. Paul Reichert back with you. Let's check out what happened on the racing scene this past week. We'll start with last Tuesday. The IMCA Dairy Brothers Late Model Series and the IMCA Hawkeye Dirt Tour Modifieds were both at Marshalltown, Iowa. Justin Kay won the late model feature. Todd Shute took the modified feature. U.S. Modified Touring Series was at Caney, Kansas on Tuesday. R.C. Whitwell the winner. And the USAC Midgets ran their annual Indiana Midget Week this past week. Tuesday they were in Montpelier. Tyler Courtney took the win. Wednesday in Gas City, Michael Pickens scored the win. In fact, he scored the win the next night at Lincoln Park Speedway in Putnamville. Friday they were in Bloomington. Another win for Tyler Courtney. Saturday they were at Lawrenceburg. Rico Abreu came out on top, and they wrapped up the week Sunday at Kokomo. Spencer Baston took the win. Shane Golobeck is your Indiana Midget Week champion. On Wednesday, the U.S. Modified Touring Series ran at 81 Speedway in Park City, Kansas. John Mitchell took the win. Thursday, Angel Park Speedway made up the rain out of the May 21st show that was featuring Tony Stewart, and he did come back and race. Badger Midget feature went to Brian Stanfill, and Billy Baylog took the IRA Sprint feature. At State Park Speedway in Wausau, Mark Mackesy won the Super Late Model feature. Lyle Nowak took the Late Model feature. Midwest Truck Series was also on hand. Mike Corville took the win. Wisconsin International Raceway in Kokona ran the Red Round, first round of the Red, White, Blue Series Thursday. Travis Rodewald won the late model feature. The Super Late Models got a few laps in before the rains came, and unfortunately they will not make up that feature. The U.S. Modified Touring Series ran Salina, Kansas. Kate Dillard took the win. The big Dirt Late Model Dream Race took place at Eldora last weekend. Thursday they ran a pair of twin qualifiers, each paying $5,000 to win. Brandon Overton and Scott Bloomquist won those races. Friday they had another pair of twin qualifiers, each paying $10,000 to win. Daryl Lanigan and Mason Ziegler took those wins. And the big A main on Saturday night, paying $100,000 to win, was won by Scott Bloomquist. Friday at Golden Sands, White Brooks claimed his first ever Super Late Model feature win. Larry Schuler won the Super Late Model feature at Grundy. Brian Gibson won the Late Model feature at Hawkeye Downs. Michael Bilderback took the NASCAR Late Model feature at Madison. Jake Tim won the USRA Modified feature at Mississippi Thunder. Dalton Zier won the Super Late Model feature at the Norway Speedway up in Dayopia. At Red Cedar, Mike Prochnow won the Wissota Late Model feature. Ashley Anderson took the Wissota Modified feature. At Thomas Sparta Raceway, Paul Brown's 4-feature win streak in the Modifieds is over. Denny Schott won the Modified feature. All-Star Circuit of Champions were at Lincoln, Illinois. Carson Macedo, the winner. ARCA ran at Pocono. Riley Herbst came out on top. Ty Majeski came home in 7th. IRA Sprints were at Oshkosh. Mike Kirchner, the winner. And the World of Outlaw Sprint Cars were at Knoxville, warming up for the Knoxville Nationals. Brad Sweet won the preliminary feature Friday, and the Big A main on Saturday was won by Donnie Schatz. Saturday at Cedar Lake, AJ Demo won the NASCAR Late Model feature. Darrell Nelson the NASCAR Modified feature. Jason Cummings won the USRA Modified feature at Deer Creek. Theron Resin won his first ever late model feature, winning at the Dells. Double features for the NASCAR late models at Elko. Joe Nicias and Donnie Reavers took the win. Sean Scheel won the late model feature at Jefferson. Steve Carlson held off Nick Panetsky in a one-lap shootout to win the NASCAR late model feature here at La Crosse. Alex Papini won the NASCAR late model feature at Rockford. All-Star Circuit of Champions were at Macon, Illinois. Justin Peck, the winner. ARCA CRA Super Series ran at Bearfield Speedway in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Johnny Van Dorn came out on top. The Cars Tour was at Anderson Motor Speedway in Williamston, South Carolina. Josh Berry won the late model feature. For the Super Late Model feature, the Cars Tour got together with the Southern Super Series for a combined race, and Bubba Pollard came out on top. IRA Sprints were at Wilmot. Matt Vanderveer, the winner. The Mid-American Stock Car Series got the race in before the lights went out at Marshfield. Landry Potter came out on top. NASCAR K&N Pro West Series was at Colorado National Speedway in Tacoma, Colorado. Chris Eggleston, hometown boy, won that race. Derek Kraus second. Upper Midwest Vintage Race Series ran at the Dells. Woody Poole won that race, and Ken Lewis's Dick Trickle White Knight Mustang came home second. U.S. Modified Touring Series was at Adams County Speedway in Corning, Iowa. Zach Vanderbeek took the win. At Slinger, Dennis Prunty won the Super Late Model Feature, and Ryan Goodneck, stop him please, won his third straight Late Model Feature. ARCA Midwest Tour, they were lined up ready to go for the race Saturday night. Marshfield, generator failed, the lights went out. They had to come back on Sunday and race. Didn't matter to Ty Majeski. He scored the win. She tied with Dead and Fredrickson for the all-time wins lead. And the Pass North Tour ran at Oxford Plains Speedway up in Oxford, Maine. Joey Doron came out on top. And that'll do it for this edition of the Burning Rubber Race Report. I'm Paul Reichert, and we'll talk to you folks next week.
That's the Days Inn Burnin' Rubber Race Report with Paul Reichert, brought to you by the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse.
In a hurry, it's easy to stop. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. You're gonna like the things we've got. Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop. It's easy to see when you're on the go. There's only one name you need to know.
Baraboo, Black River Falls, Nakusa, Toma, Wittenberg.
Whitetail Crossing and Smoke Shop.
You don't have to fly to Kansas City to get great barbecue.
Jerry Beyer here, and I'm pleased to announce that we have opened a new location. Now you'll find our Big Boar Cook Shack parked on the corner of George and July Street every Wednesday through Sunday. So come on over and sink your teeth into the barbecue voted best in La Crosse County. Don't forget takeout.
And just come on down for the best food in town at Big Boar Barbecue.
Big Boar Barbecue, that's a mouthful.
Spring, spring, spring. Now that it's spring, no one wants to sit inside and watch TV with it so beautiful outside. And when you get DirecTV through Dean's Satellite and Security, you don't have to. You can now take your TV with you into the great outdoors with the free mobile app from DirecTV. Going on a picnic? Take your TV with you. Sitting by the lake? Don't miss your favorite show. It's really that simple. Call your local friends at Dean's Satellite and Security today at 608-269-2897 or visit them online at deanstv.com. Now get outside and watch your TV. Content, channels, and functionality varies by TV package, viewing location, and device. Data charges may apply. Conditions apply. Call for details.
Come on in. Welcome to JT's Long Shots in West Salem. We're Tricia and Jim.
It's your new sports bar for watching all your favorite sports. Happy hour Monday through Friday, 3 to 7, with $1.75 domestics and rails. For lunch or dinner, the kitchen is open. Half-price burgers on Mondays. Tuesday, it's bone or boneless wings. Fish tacos on Friday. Stop after the races tonight to hear live music. It's Joe Cody from 8 to midnight.
Jim and I'd love to see you at JT's Long Shots Sports Bar, downtown West Salem.
There's the white flag. One more lap on Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report on Cool Gold 1460.
Welcome back, Cool Gold 1460 WVOG. Billy Niles, Radio Man Dan Dyker back with you one more time before we get ready for La Crosse Speedway tonight. And then afterwards, JT's Long Shots.
Race fans, JT's Long Shots has your ticket to the Oktoberfest race weekend. After the races on Saturday nights, take your ticket stub or your pit pass into JT's, put your name and number on it, and drop it in the box. This September, one lucky winner will win a pair of 4-day passes to the Oktoberfest race weekend. That's JT's Long Shots in historic downtown West Salem.
Also tonight, the Fireball girls will be there from 9:30 to 10:30. $10 shots and free swag. A DJ from 9:30 to 1:30. Last Saturday night, young Jimmy Bjorkman beat everybody in the Hornet class, and that means he beat Mark Bornitz, You've Been Probed, and Nate Towner, two former track champions. Paul Reichert had a chance to catch up with one of them. What's up, Mark Bornitz?
How long have you been racing in the Hornet division here at La Crosse?
Oh, I've been doing this ever since I was 16, so I'm 16 years into it so far.
And of course, let's not forget, he's also done a little dirt with the Mississippi Thunder Speedway up in Fountain City, race there. In fact, did you win a championship up there too?
Yeah, I went up there in 2014, and I ran Arcadia for a couple of years and won a couple championships there as well.
Did you have a brother that raced in Hornets too?
Yeah, my brother ran Thunder Stocks for a couple of years, then he got out, and me and him, he ran my other car in the Hornets with me. So, and he ran a few more years before he ran Thunder Stocks too.
Okay, and what attracted you to running the Ford Probe here? What made you want to go with that car here versus like other people going with mainly Hondas, maybe a few Kias or like that?
Well, it actually started out when I started 16 years ago, and I was up to the La Crosse Speedway here, and there was a Ford Probe that was ran as a street drags, or when they used to do spectator drags around the little track. I bought my first one then, and I've been collecting them ever since.
Kind of a great sponsor on this car here, which is...
First and foremost is my old man's garage. It's my dad. He's been keeping this car going, like I said, for 16 years. Otherwise, I got Holman Pumping and Holman Quick Stop have been with me from day one. And I also got Greenleaf Trucking and Tim's Delivery and Stainless and Repair out of Marshfield.
Okay, well, good luck this season, Mark. Hopefully we'll see you win another championship out here.
That's way too early for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Always like me some Mark Bornitz. I love on the back of his card, it says, "You've been probed, game over," and that's exactly what he's done to many, many people. But Saturday night, Jimmy Bjorkman did, and Saturday night was a return of a former Trek champion.
That's right. Nate Towner showed up in a really sweet-looking ride, and our boy Paul caught up with him before the races.
How you doing, Nate?
Oh, doing pretty good, Paul.
Let's see, you were the Hornet champion and stepped away or took a job last year, or what happened?
Yeah, I won the championship in 2015 here at La Crosse Speedway. Decided to retire after that. That was the main goal. And I was pretty busy with work on the railroad with BNSF. Just had this car I built and kind of been working on it here and there. Took all last year off. Was going to race dirt in Fountain City, and then every night I was going to go up there last year. It got rained out, so I never got to get back in the seat. So decided sitting in the garage, I can race here again this year after sitting out my year, and just came to have a little fun tonight in this hot night.
So how long have you been out here racing Hornets?
Yeah, it'll be year 16 right now.
And haven't had an inkling to move up to like Thunderstocks, maybe just been satisfied here in the Hornet division over the years?
Yeah, I was going to move up to, my dad raced late models for, let's say, 8 years and Sportsman for 2. He told me once I started making payments on the late model, I could get in that. Well, then I started with the railroads, then you only get like 2 weekend nights off a month, so it's hard to race for points. Hornets, you can do it, so just kind of what I stuck to, I guess.
Okay, well, best of luck this season, Nate, and thanks for the time.
All right, thanks, Paul.
I tell you what, Billy Knock Niles, Nate Towner, I mean, everybody in the Hornet class, I like how they take care of those Hornets because they know they're not late models, but they're race cars. And that's why I treat them the same exact way, and they treat their cars the same exact way and their trailers. They always look nice, but Nate Towner's has been stellar since my first day at the Speedway years ago.
And he did not disappoint Saturday night. Sweet-looking ride, and like you mentioned, they're no different than the other classes. They have people that come to watch
part of the
them.
Show.
They have people that advertise on their race cars. So it's these guys in the up and coming divisions doing a great job of taking care of their vehicles.
And what about Jake Bemis? Man, I mean, I didn't know he was coming back this year.
Yeah, I apologize for calling him Beamish.
Man, does that car look nice, too.
It is a sweet-looking ride. Yes, it is.
So, again, tonight, JT's Long Shots. We're going to be down there with free swag, dollar shots, and the Fireball Girls. Get your ticket or your wristband down there. Get it entered for some Oktoberfest tickets. And mark your calendar for Trophy Night at Big Boar Barbecue in West Salem, July 19th. Trophy Night for the car shows. Billy and I are going to be doing the TV show down there. I want to thank Billy Knock for filling in for me on the racing side of things last weekend. I am the voice, Radio Man Dan Dyker. Time to hit the Speedway. Thanks for joining us here in Cool Gold 1460 WBOG.
There's the checkered flag. Join us again next week for the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Store Race Report on Cool Gold 1460, brought to you by Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores in Baraboo, Black River Falls, and Toma. By Big Boar Barbecue, Highway 16 West Salem, and 3rd Street, downtown La Crosse. By Dean Satellite and Security, your local DirecTV retailer. By the Days Inn Hotel and Conference Center on French Island, La Crosse. By Dell's Raceway Park in Wisconsin Dells. By Weir's Machine and Racing Products in Bangor, Wisconsin. And by TJ's Long Shots Grill and Saloon in historic downtown West Salem. Join us next week at this same time for the Whitetail Crossing Convenience Stores Race Report on Cool Gold 1460 WBOG.